At just under 3,500 pounds, this ePro is a behemoth in terms of its ability to go anywhere and do anything, fully capable with 200-watt solar standard, inverter, as well as laminated and insulated sidewalls that have no wood in it whatsoever. It's pouring out, raining today. This is the Northwest, but that's where this shines. There's no slide on here. 19 dBH from ePro, the 2026 model. As we walk down the side of this is one entire sheet that they produce in-house to be fully solid to keep that insulation together. Not only that, they couple that with these frameless dual pane windows standard, so you don't have to keep upgrading these different amenities to have something truly exceptional for your camping experience. This is Asdale siding, so you don't have any wood in that whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about water getting in and rotting the different materials in there. Additionally, the frame is all aluminum from the ceiling to the floor to the sidewalls, the front to the back. It is all aluminum framed, so you're not worried about that water coming in and creating an issue. Up top, you'll even notice that there's an outdoor speaker as well as a full-length awning. That makes this a truly fully capable, amenity-packed camper. Now, if we pan down here, you do have the solid step, which is really great when you're going to different campsites. It doesn't wobble at all. It's very solid, along with that large grab handle that you saw earlier. And then we go into the storage space. Right here, you can even, when you pop this open, you'll be able to see the aluminum framing on the interior. So many trailers will have an aluminum frame for their entire trailer, but when it gets to the actual furniture inside, they skimp and turn it into a wood frame, which that can get water intrusion. Now this is all aluminum framed out, so it's gonna be sturdy for a long time. Right here you'll see an external solar port. Like I said, there is 200 watts of solar on the top already standard. You can upgrade that from here all the way up to 600 watts from the factory. On the nose cap here, this is a molded fiberglass nose cap. It's different than what the laminated nose caps are that have a lot of flex in it. This is going to be solid, so it takes a good brunt going down the road. If there's any rocks getting kicked up into it, it's gonna do just fine. And then also you'll see that on a lot of the laminated front nose caps on different trailers, they start to get a little wavy. That's because they are getting that brunt from the road. All the wind, rain, snow pushed into it, it kind of finds its way into the seams and starts to deteriorate the front nose cap. So you're not getting that on these. You do have a good docking light right here, and then down below, diamond plated for where you actually get more of your rocks kicked up. On this, you're gonna have 2 propane tanks up front, space for 2 batteries, and again, all the amenities, an electric tongue jack. So we haven't even made it to the interior yet, and we're still on the exterior features, just like these larger off-road tires that give you plenty of clearance. This is going to be, almost 1.5 feet of clearance down to the lowest point, which is going to be this propane quick connect, which will connect to this railing here, which supports a barbecue that comes with the trailer standard. There you have your 110 outlets, as well as we move back here, you're going to have a huge exterior locker that goes all the way through. At the rear of the camper here, one of the biggest things that you like to look at for campers or trailers is going to be that rear ladder. That's a good indication that yes, the roof is walkable on these, very sturdy, easy to access and easy to maintain. It's actually arched pretty heavily to keep a lot of the debris from collecting up there, and we'll take a look at that on the interior. Now, additionally, on almost every ePro, except for the very smallest ones, you do get a 300-pound rating 2-inch receiver hitch on there. So that's it for the exterior, jam-packed with amenities, but let's look on the interior and see where it all comes together for your comfort long-term in this particular camper. This is the interior of the 19 dBH. Now, this is a non-slide camper, so you can tell it gets a little bit cramped in here, but we'll see why, because it gives you ample space in the bathroom, and we'll check that out in a little bit. But right here, this is an extensive kitchen for what you get in a 19-foot box. An absolutely impressive design by ePro, along with all the amenities still standard. Now, we talked about that dome roof a little bit earlier, and as you can tell, I'm brushing a little bit at the top. On the sides, I will definitely hit my head. but I'm 6'5". So if you're under that by maybe 1 or 2 inches, you're gonna be doing just fine all the way throughout. And of course, they make the main walkway through the center. Now, I do have to watch out for the AC. Again, AC still standard. 12-volt TV, still standard. All these lights in here make it exceptionally bright as well. It's a dark and dreary day outside, and if I'm in here and I can close my eyes or just picture myself, I can feel like I'm in a lot brighter scenario than the dreary Northwest in the middle of November. Getting a little bit closer look on the kitchen. Now again, on these smaller trailers, they do pack a ton. There's a 3-burner stove standard on here, so plenty of prep space on the right and a little bit on the left. A pretty big basin sink, but also underneath you've got plenty of cabinetry for your sponges, something like silverware, pots and pans, and then your convection microwave as well. Now, there's actually an even larger storage area here. So for something that, especially if you're living in tighter cities like Seattle or Everett or even Tacoma, this is something that's going to be easily navigable and then also easy to store, but doesn't necessarily ruin any of the space and amenities that you can get on a travel trailer. Oh, last thing, most important, you have a coffee maker. You've got 2 inverted plugs right there, so you can plug in a home appliance right to those plugs while you're running off the battery. One of the biggest things that I would see on here is, hey, is this just a couples trailer or a solo camper trailer? No, we've got hidden sleeping arrangements everywhere throughout here. Main bed is going to be here, stationary, great. You don't have to pop it up, pop it down, but if you do need an extra bunk, pull down on that guy, you got one right up ahead. Last little bit back here, there is large storage up overhead that you can access from the top bunk. And then also on the bottom, there is that ledge that you can place maybe your phone or a CPAP machine when you're sleeping. And then you also have an inverted plug right on the right-hand side there. All right, so this thing is still full of surprises. I talked about this narrow hallway here, which, you know, when you're utilizing something that's only 7 feet wide instead of the traditional 8 foot, and you're making something without slides, you're gonna get a little bit cramped right in here. But let me show you why it's so cramped, because in here, you're not gonna be cramped. So right in here, you have a full stand-up shower. Now, stand up, let's test it. Yeah, I'm not standing up in here. But if you're about 6 feet or less, you could stand up here pretty comfortably. And it is a rectangular shower, so it's not a wet bath. That is something that's really nice, especially if you've got kids or someone that, you know, needs a little bit more space in here. There's ample space in the bathroom and the shower. The hose does come off, or the shower head does come off. And then down below, it's one of those small bathtubs that you might, if you've got an infant, is great for giving baths. So right now I am sitting on the toilet. We've got plenty of knee space here. This is a nice porcelain style toilet, not one of the cheaper plastic ones. Now, up top, you do have a little bit of counter space here, a nice little sink that's actually a little bit larger than most sinks that you'd get in a bathroom setting, and then a pretty big or generous medicine cabinet up overhead. So you can really hear it coming down now. It's pouring down rain, but nice and cozy in here. This is one of the last bits of the kitchen here, which is going to be your 12-volt fridge. Extremely generous. It goes all the way to the back because it is 12 volt, so you don't have any of the fins in there. And then down below, you actually have a chest freezer style. So the theory is, of course, if you open up a chest freezer, all the cold air sinks and it holds in the bottom a little bit marginally longer than if you had a swinging door, which all the cold air would just dissipate out of quickly. Okay, I've been saving the best for last. Behind me almost seems like a completely different trailer. Let's take a look at why this makes it a great family trailer. This is a huge U-shaped dinette with a lagoon table. Now, this does fold down into a larger bed than what you'd actually have in the back there. That's the permanent set bed. But if you wanted to actually have a family of 4 around here, one, the table is actually large enough to put 1, 2, 3, 4 plates on. But 2, the seating is actually big enough that a full-grown person can sit all the way around. There's the lagoon leg right there, so I can't scoot all the way around. But if I go all the way around, I can fit in every position around this. Not to mention, again, at 6'5", I hit my head on the valance here, but this is, you got plenty of room. So really comfortable to actually sit in and relax, play board games, ample enough space to lay out, and then also a much bigger bed if you wanted to put this down into the bed mode. And again, more storage up top. 110 outlets and USB underneath, so if you are working on the go, this is a great place to do it. Again, 200 watt solar standard and an inverter standard, so you can run those 110 outlets and have an ample amount of battery life while you're traveling. So this is the 19 dBH from ePro, a fantastic model for 2026 and one that's new to their lineup. A lot of areas for sleeping if you've got a big family, or just relaxing if you're a couple. It gives you two generous areas in the back and the front, and is exceptional in all weather. As you can tell, it's pouring down rain outside, and I am so glad I am cozy in here. If you're interested in this model or any other ePro model, feel free to check the pricing and availability linked below. And if you have any questions about your tow capacity or any other camper, trailer, or fifth wheel, feel free to reach out to us at apachecamping.com. And one last thing, this is voice activated. Hey Power Pro, it's nighttime.